Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
They tried to go artsy fartsy with that. Okay.
She got thrown out.
That was the best softcore porn I've ever seen.
Yeah, they were especially early on. It was actually not early on. 3/4 of the movie is like whatever. The movie starts 3/4 of the way in.
I'll say that. Yeah.
Even
let it fly. Then what are the
even
thoughts?
after he runs away, it still hasn't started.
I hit record. I hit record. Let the thoughts fly, man. Good. I want to hear it all. I want to hear it all.
Sorry, all the blood is rushing to my head after watching that. Fuck.
They mix so many styles of a type of movie together, that's probably to me the most interesting part of it. Even
I
like
turn into a vampire movie or some shit.
You see in the beginning when they're doing what were we watching? We were watching the Amazon TV version of what's it called? The fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Philippe. What's it called? Cruel Intentions. Okay. It was like that. Like that like the weird, so like ugly style pop music in the very beginning. Like it's just like, oh god, and they're like, and they showcase them like partying for a large chunk of the first act of the movie.
Yeah, it was like half an hour of freaking partying.
No, it was more than that.
Then it turns into a straight.
Maybe continuously it was like a half an hour, but not all of it. No.
Yeah. It turned into like a Where's Waldo comedy after I guess the dudes show up, right? The dudes that work for his parents.
I was waiting for things to get violent, but they never really got violent.
I was okay with them not getting violent. It's just
that's what I thought it was going. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, oh, you like, yo, this is a comedy. I'm like, yo, what? I thought this was like a horror.
I don't know.
We don't even.
I knew it was a comedy going on.
We don't even know who their parents are or what they did.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
But that wouldn't.
That's so fucked up.
That's not the greatest sin of the movie, though.
The mom was swagging, but by the end, she started swagging on her.
Us not knowing the parents is like a minor sin. Like, because of the way the rest of the movie played out, it becomes a minor sin. Like, if they made it work, guess what? I don't care who the fuck the parents are. We just know that they're supposed to represent authority figures in Ivan's life, right?
I think it lessens it
the blanks,
you know.
like the last movie we watched.
No, like it's the monster. You don't want to see the monster in vivid details because it lessens what what it is.
They could be, yeah.
I mean, other than the dad laughing, other than that, Ivan and his parents showing up and his interactions with them, and he didn't turn. He was already a bitch. Now we know he was already a bitch. At that point, we knew he was already a bitch. Right?
It's like, yo, they try to, I thought they were trying to trick us. Like, nah, he ain't bitch. I'm like, bro, this guy's a bitch.
Yeah, he is. He actually is he's a little bitch.
He's ass cheeks. He's the most ass cheeks character. The stripper girl that was giving her shit was twice the characters, and she had like 3 scenes.
She had some sense of warmth to her. Yes, there was like life there. This fool's just a little hedonistic little fuckface, just spending daddy's and mommy's money, rambling around New York and Vegas and shit like that. I'll just have a good time. As soon as mommy and daddy show up, I'm quiet now. I do exactly what they tell me to do. Like, you're a little bitch, bro. That character, I'm like, hey, at that point, turn it into an action movie, bro. Have some guys show up with machine guns and gun him down, bro. I'm with it. In this fucking movie, let him get Denzel, bro. This some rival company show and Modus filled in. So trash. Yeah, there's. Do I like any of the characters in this movie? I kind of liked Igor. He was kind of okay. He was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Igor too, but he's not. But he's not. That's not saying much.
He played like a fleeting role that I guess became important at the end.
You walk away liking Igor in like a serious way. Like, no, seriously, it's the only character I like is Igor. Like that's an indictment in itself. That statement's an indictment in itself.
Exactly.
Like the mom, she looked like a dummy.
The mom was but we don't know shit about her.
If we got more of her, then it would work. But we didn't get more of her. She was just a quintessential authority figure for the little bitch boy.
She was swagging.
100% swagging. But like, if you're gonna give us this kind of like gigantic character, like her presence is gigantic. Like they made her gigantic as far as her presence goes. And if you only give us a little bit of that, just to bitch out little bitch boy, then it's like, whatever.
So this movie, I think they were trying to give us like a feminist point of view, and some of us got it and some of us didn't. I knew it was going to happen.
Feminist point of view. Please explain that to us.
Stripper bad bitch vibe?
You can't use a stripper as your main character.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
I thought you were gonna go with like the strong characters, like really, like who, like Ivan was completely weak. All the guys are bitches, and
Igor was not weak though.
It wasn't that the main character was the main character. It was that the development of that character, and she was actually more in charge. Even like he had power, like the husband had power for money, but it wasn't really like you saw like when they developed them, how she behaved in different scenarios. She would step up to things. He was always running. He was always ducking and shucking and maneuvering.
You mean the dad? You're saying?
No, well, no. The husband. The husband.
Ivan. The
Ivan.
kid?
Yeah.
The little bitch boy.
Yeah.
Just call him bitch boy. God.
Yeah, the bitch boy. So bitch boy, he's always running from his father or responsibilities or like all he had for power was just spending money. He didn't really he didn't really have anything. So when things heated up, she always got stronger, right? Like she always like would assert herself and that. And on the family with the parents, the mother was the only thing there. Like this is fine. Like the most that happened out of the father is that like his strongest moment was just laughing at her. But other than that, like he's just kind of there.
Yeah, but how's that feminist? I don't understand.
Because I wouldn't say feminist. I would just say that they had strong.
Well,
they had
spirits. The guy. That's all. I wouldn't call it feminist.
Very really expressioned characters. I get that, but the dad's nonchalantness. It seemed more like a power move than like. Oh, she's like, "You little piece!" Like the mom's like going crazy. He's just like, like just like in the corner laughing, and no one says nothing. She didn't say anything to him. Yeah. He's just sitting there laughing, bro. I think she did. She might have said a word here or there, but he's just sitting there like, I don't give a fuck, bro. This is hilarious. So like, he kind of like stole the power of that situation. Granted, mom was swagging.
Yeah,
she was swagging, but also, here's what I expected to happen was that like they even showed it with the sex scenes, right? Where the kid's like what'd you say, Prop? He's like a sewing machine or something. He's just like, you know,
I'm taking notes.
He's just jackrabbiting right through all of his sex scenes, and I thought the idea was. Well, I thought
made fun of him about it, right?
Exactly. I thought the idea was like she was going to show him how to be like a man, and then he'll stand up to his parents or something, like kind of cliche shit. But to me, would have been more interesting. I think that would have been more interesting. But whatever. If he's a little bitch, he's a little bitch. Fine. Man. I mean, Prop, you should love this. This is not traditional at all. The movie we just watched. It's not
It
traditional
was
at
the
all.
best softcore porn I've ever seen. I said.
But there's a story that's weird and I don't know. It's very abstract. The story is just bizarre. This whole story of the
I'm not
movie.
gonna lie.
There's no
I'm
real
kind of a
arcing conclusions,
conservative,
really.
where like I thought it artistically was good, but I don't like the fucking sex scenes and the fucking cocaine. Unless you're like,
You're trying to
unless you're
showcase
making
what
like
they're
a
doing.
point about how like bad it is.
They're trying to make him a little
Maybe
bitch
they
boy.
were.
They're trying to make him a little bitch boy who just goes out and spends parents' money and parties and shit. That's what they showed, and that's what
That's
happened.
cocaine.
Right?
Yeah.
Cocaine.
She wasn't like she wasn't bringing the coke out and getting the drinks out and all that shit. It was this fool, this fucking little
Yeah.
bitch boy.
No, but she was doing it.
So they're like
And
mocking him.
sometimes you got to get your strippers under control before they stab you.
What?
You don't let them. You don't let them get carried away. I'm telling you right now. Don't let them get the upper edge.
Yeah, don't get married in Vegas if you're a billionaire family or
Yeah.
something.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Don't marry a billionaire kid like that. Nah, but that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
maybe
Like,
you do want it.
how did she
Maybe
not
it
like
seemed like
get more
nothing
money out
really
of it? She
happened to
could have
it.
got way more money out of it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
she could
know,
have embezzled the shit out of them.
that whole like yeah, she could have done a lot of shit.
And she's probably like.
Did she get the
Here's the
10
thing,
grand
man.
in the end?
If they wrote
It's
it,
like
Yeah,
Jordan.
yes.
It's like okay, she's naive. She's young and naive. Let's say that.
No,
She's
she's not.
still
mhm.
No, I don't think that's
okay.
where
Then
they're
that
going
makes it
with.
worse. Then what I'm saying makes it worse. Then I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. If you're saying that makes it worse, she's not naive, but she played naive with that whole situation.
Yes, but I thought they were going with she's fucking crazy, and so is the Igor guy. He's crazy too. Like I thought that's where they were going with. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, that is.
relatively a
I think
love
that is the
story.
point. Yeah, I think that is the point. But I'm saying, why did that drag out so long on the marriage thing
I
and the
don't
way
know.
it did?
I don't know.
Like they were going for like
Comedy?
comedy or
Yeah,
something. I guess.
I guess yes.
Well, they wanted, yeah, it
Runtime.
was comedy, and they wanted you to like. So she's definitely not naive. It's like they set her up as not a naive person, but like the whole thing, she was demanding each time the money for the time every time very clearly and negotiating it
Yeah.
up. So at no point was she naive like until he committed to getting married. That does imply more. Maybe that she hooked him or something, right? Like
Hmm.
that. Like that's kind of crazy, right? So I think that show of commitment up to that point, it looked like he was in. But I think at that point she believed it.
But
Like,
but that
even though
young
she's
man
not
was too
naive.
far gone to even understand what a stripper was. So
He's
I
still
don't get
on
that
that.
entire
He
part.
was he was much more like fucked up after like he ran away. He didn't seem that fucked up. Like he didn't act that drunk when he was like with her, like, as he did like after they found him.
Yes. Well, he was like, which I thought they were pump faking with at first. I thought they were pump faking with like he's like actually like mentally like a little boy, and
Mhm.
and then now parents caught him, so he runs away like a little boy. It's like, oh, I just want to escape this, and I'm gonna go to the strip clubs and party and
Yeah.
forget about all of this. I thought that was a pump fake at first, but it really
No,
was who
it
this fucking
totally
kid
wasn't.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
I
he was
guess,
actually that guy.
which is
But
why he's a little
now
bitch
like
boy.
the end, like the last 30 minutes of the movie is like the best part of the movie, and they took the longest route imaginable to get you there.
Well,
And wait, Russian put up a better
They
fight
didn't
and
want to
he
do
died.
cliche.
So there you go.
Real quick. I don't think they wanted to go with because okay, the Igor and her thing, right? That's basically the ending. That's where they end up at, right?
Yeah.
And I I guess they were trying to avoid the cliche of she falls and he catches her type of scenario, right? Of like the cliche of like, oh no, she's gonna fall in love with this guy, not that guy. So they went with like this kind of weird pull you in different directions while he's doing subtly nice things to her or for her. maybe he recognizes something. Maybe it's up to our interpretation. But I just fail to see, like, I think a full roundabout writing of it to where it's like, where it's there but not there, if that makes sense. Sure,
Yeah.
maybe it's there in the sense of he's being a gentleman or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what was there, but
My conclusion, like with the film, where she started to like cry or something, like this is not a happy ending. It's
yeah,
they're fucked up,
yeah,
and
she's a
so
mess.
and I think that's out
Room
of
for
like
a
I don't think the
sequel.
whole thing was good, but I think out of the situations we saw, that was probably a better way to it makes more sense with what was going on, because a happy ending would have been very cheesy. Um,
Yes.
and what I was looking for is like, what's going on with this? Like, what are they trying? Like, I think mostly it was comedy, but what I took away and it was more entertained about was the repeated contrast between the power that they would show and the same power being powerless. They would show mostly through money, but like he goes into a hotel or people assert themselves and they have, it's all because of money, but like you see like how empty of a shell is going on in there, like there's
Yes, I thought
and
that's where she was gonna give him some. You're talking about her with the kid, right? Little bitch boy, right? They're saying.
well with little bitch boy, well I think I saw it repeatedly throughout this, like who is the strength here, like because looking also I mentioned the women already, but like the guys, right? So initially Ivan comes in, he has money, that kind of by default, the way he had that much, like he showed all these cars and huge place,
Yeah.
so by default, um there's some sets there, but then you hear about his father and you're thinking, oh, this is the man, right? That's the impression they give. And then you're like, oh no, there's this other guy. What's the priest? I keep remembering that he was a priest.
Toros.
Yeah.
Toros.
Yeah.
Yeah. See him, he must be like the real mafia. Like you keep getting that perception of like thugs or mafia people. And then you see the muscle come in and the biggest guy who seemed pretty assertive ends up being a bitch the whole time. It was the weakest, like he, like they made him the most feminine character in the whole like in the portrayal of it, right? Like he's just like wrecked the whole time. It was it
Don't tell
was
that to
it was
Buffy.
just
My God.
yeah. So then and and so all of that, so okay, Toro, so Toro, when you see him, like he actually didn't want anybody to get hurt, like he's the most apologetic, he swears, he's not being polite, but like you see that wasn't really there. And then it's like, okay, well the father, oh, it's the mother is stronger, and then she also really doesn't have power. All of the power is just kind of like, it's money, but it's not like, do people really respect them? Do you respect any of their characters?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, a
it's
lot of all the characters were kind of inverted of what a usual character would be.
Yeah,
The
you don't leave
cliche
the
of it. Yeah.
movie thinking they're like anything to like really want. You might want some of their stuff. You don't like they're like who they are, right? And their characters.
But what if it's a
So that's always
metaphor?
interesting.
What if it's a metaphor for where women just want a real man? Is that possible? Where it's like the
I don't
guy's
understand
like,
that.
she's like, you have rapey eyes. You totally want to rape me, don't you? He's like, no, I don't. Like he's like, when,
That that was strong.
when shit
That
went
was
down
strong.
in Coney Island, right? He just snatches the bat away from that dude. He just starts breaking shit. Like I'm used to this. This is nothing. I just do this, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's not
Hmm.
like I don't need to like overly be like I'm a fucking dude. I'm gonna fuck you up, right? He's just like relax, man. Like it is what it is. I can just fuck your shit up, or you can just walk away from this. Give me your fucking phone. We can move on with our days. Maybe that's where they were going. I don't know.
Hmm.
The regular real man thing. which is maybe why I like Eeyore or something. I don't know. Or he's like he's just chilling. I don't rape. I'm not a rapist, man. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know. Shut up.
Sorry, I'm just
It's all over my
after you
review
did
now.
that quote,
No.
I had to throw in it.
Hardcore edit this out of there. I don't know. It's all right. Let's start going towards where this movie is. Do I recommend? Sure. It's not entirely a piece of shit. I think there's plenty of funny shit in here. I laughed at during several moments in this movie, but there was plenty of funny moments in here. But so yeah, I do recommend as like if you want like a blank movie, not about really anything. Like there's little things here or there. Like I'm starting to think it's about traditional relationships, and maybe she tried to go from stripper to Russian oligarch, and she ended up with blue collar guy. Maybe there's something there with that. I don't know. Maybe an idea of social masculinity and social femininity. Maybe they're going somewhere with that. That's for me. It's just like shallow drops in a bucket, bro. Not much to me. Like that doesn't move me at all. But I do recommend like someone could have fun with this for sure. I guarantee someone can have fun with this, but in my opinion, it'll be like kind of like almost heartless fun. Almost heartless fun. There's some heart in here. There's definitely some heart in here, but I don't think they actually go to a level to where it's like, holy shit, my mind, my heart, my soul, whatever the fuck is like open to. I'm getting something from this. They're feeding me. I don't think that's happening. So I'm sure there's plenty of just regular movie fans that'll have fun with this movie. But for me, I have to give the score of. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. One of the bonuses I enjoyed the cinematics of it. Like the tones, the tone changes were kind of crazy. Actually, like really well done. Look at where we started. Like the first act, and the middle act, and then the last act. Like it was like a mixture of colors and tones and shit like that. I was like, God damn, that's pretty fucking cool. It's just the story with it is just it's not moving me too much. Even if the artist is trying to say something, it's just I don't think it's gonna be something where I'm like, man, I'm gonna think about the way I do this or do that or the way I watch movies is gonna change now. Like, no, that's not happening with this movie. I don't think. I think a solid 7 out of 10 is pretty good. There's some funny parts too. So that's where I'm at. Anyone else want to go?
I give it. I recommend, but yeah, I gotta go a little lower than you, bro. They took too long with that shit. Like you said, if as far as they took too long with, what's the point of the kid and her? Like, is he just being a little like malcontent? And that to me that took too much time to develop.
Okay,
Too
I
much
feel that.
time.
I feel that.
But everything else you said is true. That's funny. It wraps it up well. There are good moments. Probably like a 6.5. That's what
Yeah.
6.5.
6.5 out of 10 from Anthony. He recommends. God, the act. This was the middle act in the movie where they're looking for him. My God, that took. I was like, all right, guys, we got to get back to the movie at some point, bro. At some point, we got to get back to the movie. I thought the whole the long drawn out them going through the hedonistic fucking route of just partying and all that shit. I thought that was just like to set up something, but it was just to set up that he's a little bitch. He's just a little party animal, and that's it.
And so when you just you're coming out of that to like another 45 minutes of looking for him, that takes a lot of steam out of the movie for me.
Yeah. Imagine her having moments where she's like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, what's going on?" Like, imagine her because she's the mature one out of the two of them, right? So imagine her having moments where she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is going on
Nah,
here?" Like, what's...
if anything, it would have been a time to like, yeah, get to like fully know her. Maybe even had Igor more like Igor was like, "Oh, I want a pill." You're like, "What a gopnik?" That's what he told her in the diner.
maybe some
She told
guy.
him,
Check this out. Maybe some guy like when they're going from club to club looking for this dude.
yeah,
Maybe some guy tries to feel her up, and she's like, "What the fuck? I'm fucking married, pussy," or some shit
and he
like.
like elbows the shit out of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so like,
like it's like he gets attracted to the idea that she's like committed to a marriage, even though like she's supposed to be like some stripper, right? She's not supposed to
yeah,
be. She's not supposed to be like that. She's supposed to be like money seeking only,
and
right?
they should have done that because that's the tone they were going with her. Whereas like you didn't really like get any inclination. She's one way or the other. Like is it for money? Is it because you
Mm-hmm.
were like that invested into like you didn't really get that from her the whole movie basically.
Well,
Till the end. Even in the end, you don't really know. She just
I'm.
starts crying. Like that's like oh she's releasing whatever she was. It felt like she was hiding something.
I mean, Anthony.
Didn't
That's
she
why I
stab
brought
that
up
guy
the
with like an emerald board or some shit?
what? Whatever.
Uh, The last scene, didn't she stab that guy to death
No,
while he was fucking her?
no.
She hit him like in
He's
the
No,
tro-
he
he's
chest.
tried.
trolling. He's trolling. Uh, that's why I brought up the idea of traditional roles of male and female type of thing socially, where she's just maybe the
No, I'm
core the core of the
pretty sure
character.
she stabbed him to death.
Yeah, sure, bud. The core of the character like just wanted to be wanted. Like that's like a typical thing, right? Even to where she said, "You definitely want to rape me for sure. You wanted to." He's like, "No, I don't do that." But maybe she was actually like wanting to be married to that guy for wanting
Yeah.
someone to want her. Like
You
really.
see, you're bringing up themes and little nuggets that would have been great in the film, but they decided to go like on like a slim fast version of those themes and things. Like, it's in them, but it's like damn, bro, you
Well,
guys took all this time partying and looking for it. Basically, you took all this time so we could learn about this dude Ivan. Basically, that's what we were spending the whole time on.
That's why
His
I'm saying
Let's
it
family.
was the
Oh,
it was
you
let,
the
can't be
best
let's just
married.
watch the
softcore
last scene
porn
where
I've
that
ever
chick
seen.
stabbed that dude to death.
That
my
I
God.
thought like what I saw from her is that she went through several different phases. Like she definitely did. I can't really call her naive at any point, but so she went in like knowing what she was doing. She was in it for the money, but I believed in when she was married that like from there she seemed to like be married. You know, like
Yeah,
what
like
that
she was
means.
in.
Yeah, yeah, I believe because I mean, if even if it's for the money, right? Even if like well, like what she was, even her profession is for the money, right? So like once like if she's married, like if she's actually married, then they already have money. She didn't like need to seek that anymore, right? Like if
Well,
it
Yeah.
was
well,
legit.
that's that on paper he has money, but she doesn't. And then she's also that's why she wanted to meet the parents. Well, it's like yo, they
Yeah,
play on our on. They want us to write it for them throughout
I
Mm,
I
those moments.
saw
They
it
want you
there.
to like make educated guesses.
yeah.
Well, I saw it there,
Yeah.
but I think
I
they
think that's
also kind of
partially
wanted
there.
to lead you back
What'd you
and
say,
forth.
Jordan?
I'm saying I think that's partially there for sure. Because there's
Um,
there's moments where it's like the idea of where they're like, oh, you got married in Vegas. You can't get annulled if you got married in Vegas, right? Like they
yeah.
quietly want. I think the creators quietly wanted you to think about like, oh, did she plan that? Did she like? Did like I said that during the movie? I was like,
Mm.
wonder if they show some random scene, a random montage of her manipulating him or
They didn't
something.
do that. I'm not saying that would have been great, but
Nah, that'd been trash. Because
Anthony
I don't
Collins
want to
would
feel
start
bad or
like
like this little
Igor
bitch
was
boy. I don't
just
want to feel
love.
bad or like him at all. Like at this point, I don't want to feel bad or like him at all. So like, fuck that kid. I'm glad they didn't do that.
In the movie, she stabbed that guy like 11 times.
Oh my god.
It's right there. You can see it.
So then, like at the end, you might
We'll
get the
get you
impression
floaties
that
next
like
time, Harrison.
she was like talking about divorce, getting half, and all that. You might get the impression, well, she's been about the money the whole time. I think that she went through with like when she saw him at the strip club, she kept actually advocating for staying together. Like she kept constantly seeking that until he was just so disrespectful repeatedly, several attempts. And he on the plane, getting on the plane, he's like, "Don't you see? Like, don't you understand?" He
so,
just had to make it blatantly clear.
so let me
So
ask you this,
she
Jesse.
went through a
Is
betrayal right there.
did the
Then
movie
she started
spell it
talking
out?
about this divorce.
Did the movie spell it out through her at any moment acknowledging acknowledging that she's doing it for the money, or did they want you to instinctively know that without them telling you that?
Yeah,
That'd be an
But
interesting
they were
social
blowing
definitely,
your
experiment.
chance.
definitely the
But
fees,
when they do
the
something like that in
increasing
the movie,
fees, like in the like in the start and progression of the relationship, like she wouldn't go with a date with him without getting paid in
yeah.
increasingly amounts. So she wouldn't go. So yes, I think they were clearly saying that she
But
was in
that's
it for the
not
money.
okay. Yeah, but
No,
that's not where I'm coming from.
I don't know about that, but go ahead. Go ahead. On to
That's
that.
not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is the movie largely imposed that thought into your mind. But there was always a chance that it might turn around for her
Hmm.
because they didn't explicitly show you that scene where, hey, like no, she like in her head, even in her head, she's having a thought like I just gotta wait these guys out. You never got that scene, so you couldn't definitively say she was in it for the money. And then you start, and then if you watch enough movies, you start thinking about, like Jordan said, you start thinking, well, are they going to show a montage of her like planning this out so she could have it out, or is there going to be a moment where she changes the guy,
Hmm.
or like something organically
Hmm.
happens to where it's not about money anymore? They left it open for you to think that. And
Yeah.
then at the end of the movie, you never got an answer definitively. What was it? What was her motive for staying married? You never got that answer definitively. Yeah, you're like,
This is
yeah, I
true.
want my money, but she only said that after they made it clear, like, we don't fuck with you. You're not gonna be part of our family under no circumstances.
Well, after they said made it clear, but after he made it clear, that's really what changed it.
Which could
Yeah,
mean she was looking for actual love the whole time, I guess. Possibly. That's possible.
yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what they left. They made you think it was a possibility.
Like she was getting played, and she's actually the one that was in the love situation. This dude was just like, "Oh, I love fucking you. Oh yeah, marry me. Yeah." He just drunkenly gets married and shit like that, and he's just like a little boy the whole time. Like, but she was actually like, "Oh no, I was actually into the like, I'm actually in. He's my fucking husband." Right? You can play that either way in your mind. Like, oh, is she doing that for money? Is she doing that for because she wants to be married to this guy or whatever the fuck? Right?
She stabbed that Russian
And then, like
11
you said,
times in the last scene. What are you talking about?
and then like Jesse said, I'm gonna
That's
ignore
different
that.
version.
And then like Jesse said, when they when he gave her the definitive answer of like I'm just gonna go with what my parents tell me to do, basically. She was in too. Like she's like, all right, fine, fuck you, little pussy, you little pussy ass bitch.
Yeah.
I like that scene. You little pussy ass bitch. Like fuck yeah, he is. You're a real man. He's some Igor in your life. But but yeah, yeah. We don't really get those answers. We don't. which
And
could
it's honestly
work.
like
It's just I don't think the
that's
game's.
a modern movie problem. We never get answers like that anymore in modern movies. Where they set things up, they set a vibe up. But it's like at the end of the day, you're still telling a coherent story through a vibe. But too many movies these days, that's one thing I hate about movies today is where they're creating a storyline that includes a vibe. When I mean a vibe, like things happen, like The Hangover, like that for an example. Like The Hangover, I can bring a more recent movie where like things happen, and they happen in like a macro sense, but like you don't get to find details of why was this thought of, why did they go this route, what was the god of the story, the writer trying to tell you by them doing this, and then that's what's the point of the movie. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what's the point of this movie? Like
yeah.
I got the Igor part, but like you didn't set that up enough for me to walk away like, oh, that's the definitive part. Like, yeah, you're crazy, I'm crazy. Like, at best, that's half the point of the movie. The other half is a mess. I don't know what the other half is.
Well, even that ending with Igor, with her crying
Open
on
ended.
you, like we don't know if she's crying
Yeah.
because I had this money opportunity and I fucking lost it and now I'm going back to the fucking stripping. Fuck, I hate that shit. Right? Like I could have had all this money and lived like a normal, like whatever, some debutante fucking life or some married to rich
Yeah.
guy life. We don't know if she's crying about that, about going back to fucking being roommates with
Man.
her fucking sister and shit. Like we don't know. Like who the fuck knows, man? And I can forgive plot things where I feel like maybe there's open ending or unanswered questions in regards to a plot. Although I don't exactly want that either, but it could work in certain situations. It's the character parts that fucking ruin me, bro. When I don't know what's going on with the characters. Now, if I were to sit here and just watch moving images go by and like, oh, we went on a whole little journey here, and it's like, well, what was the point of the journey? And it's like, you'll never know. It's like, fuck. That a little bit bothers me a bit. So I'm kind of agreeing with you, Anthony, on that. Like, we don't know where the characters are at in regards to all this. It's kind of left as a mystery. Even like I said, even as she's crying, we don't know exactly what the fuck she's crying for. Not exactly. Is she but she's not happy. I don't think she's happy. But like, is it like, oh, I lost my love? Or is it, oh, I lost all that money, now I gotta go back to fucking stripping and all this shit I don't want to do? Is it that? I don't. Who the fuck knows? It's a
And the
fucking
best we could
mystery.
come up with are guesses,
Yeah.
but there's no real answers.
Like, listen, let me say this real quick. I'm convinced that any style of things, like my complaints about watching that anime, the Perfect Blue movie, I'm convinced that you can almost go anywhere with cinema and make it work as far as like quality. It's just there's a lot of things that I'm not going to call as like this is great quality type of thing, if that makes sense. Like I could see anyone doing like where they leave an open-ended ending, or maybe they lack a little bit of character development, or whatever.
It's not a guess. She stabbed that motherfucker 11 times. I
Wait,
watched it.
Holy
wait,
Christ!
so
His
this,
lights went out.
so open. I
So
mean, Perfect
there you
Blue
go.
was like that too. Like where like you didn't get a definitive answer.
We don't know exactly what happened in Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't think plot wise or even like character development wise. I don't think we don't get any answers. I don't think at the ending of that movie. But let's be real. Let's be real. The defenders of the movie are not here to, you know, push back. I guess so I'm not even gonna go into it. But like I said, I have this strong belief that I think there's many different styles that could work. It's just this is not one of them. That's just where I'm at. Like, I don't think this is one of them where it like works to where it's
I
like
agree.
that's fucking brilliance right there. Where you just, you know,
I agree.
that's just where I'm at. Maybe if we could read the mind of the creators and we can see maybe their abstract version or their abstractions of all of this, they'd be like, oh, okay, all this makes sense now. It works perfectly. But we
Well,
don't have that
also,
luxury.
especially not in a dramedy.
Yeah.
where the stakes aren't that high really in people's lives.
I mean, it was a
So,
dark. It was a black comedy, right? Which means like
yeah,
it's very dramatic, but also it's like gritty, grounded comedy, like Juno. Like Juno's like it's funny, but there's no imagination of like a laugh track for it, right? It's just like
no,
funny situations and shit like that, right? Or funny dialogue. That's what this movie is. Funny situations, funny dialogue. But they're trying to keep it grounded to where it's like, yeah, but real life's happening now. It's funny, but real life is kind of happening. That's like what they're going for, I think. Which it worked in certain cinematic senses, but not for. I got you know some decent mashed potatoes, but maybe the steak was overcooked a bit or something like that. If you if you get my metaphor, right? Like it's
yeah,
and no greens on the plate, right? You're just like I didn't get like
no
a
gravy.
full nutritious meal out of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not shitting on the movie. It's just
Nah,
it, it is what it is.
more of a disappointment. It's more of a disappointment.
Yeah, well, listen, I understand there's people out there saying like, oh, the best movie of the year, Oscar nominee, yada 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 yada. Maybe the girl
Mm.
gets a nomination for best actor or whatever the fuck, or best actress. Fine, okay, I'm not gonna hate on
Really?
that.
This
She,
movie?
the girl, the
Well,
lead actress. Maybe
Yeah.
she gets one. Okay.
I gotta be
She can
honest.
do the
Like,
squat. She's got a
I
great
gotta be
ass,
honest.
bro.
Like, I've seen most films this year. This is one of the better ones.
It
That's
kind of
like
is, but not saying
that's not
much.
saying much.
Not saying much, man.
It shouldn't be a top 10 movie. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
It should not.
It shouldn't be a top 10 movie of the year. It should be. This should be like the bar. The low lowest part of the totem pole should be this movie.
Yeah, I think we've seen better content this year, but it's not from this year. Let me put it that way. Like we've seen better content, but it wasn't made in 2024, or my bad, released in 2024.
No,
But
It's like a C. It's like passing, but
no, I'm
not
saying
like
like the movies
failure.
of this year currently. Like, yeah, this is actually like in probably the top 10 movies, and that's because the other movies haven't been that good.
I mean, Jesse, my score is 7 out of 10. That's like an Anthony 6.5. Like in school terms, that's like, oh, you passed. But like, do you want to pass that way, or do you want like, you know, B plus to A territory? Like that's the way you actually want to pass. That's why I call it below average, right? Even though a C is an average, or you know, D is passing, right? Those are passing grades, but is that like what you want? Is that what you strive for if you're trying to be good at something? Like, no, of course not. But it is what
Not
it
for
is.
Oscars.
Oh no,
Definitely
definitely not
not.
for the Oscars.
No, dude,
But the
this is a
Oscars
fun
been
little movie.
trash for a minute though. Let's be honest about
Yeah,
that.
gonna stay that way this year.
I mean, once again, that 2010s era, there's some trash movies that won in that era, which is crazy to me. Not trash, but
Yeah.
like not as good
The
as some of the
King's
shit that's
Speech.
out there.
The King's Speech.
The King's Speech.
That's
Like
the worst one, bro.
dick riding fucking British politics is terrible. But it is what it is. All right. You heard it here, folks. There's our review. Oh, Jesse, do you recommend? Go ahead, real quick. You recommend?
Yeah, I do. But
Okay.
not strongly. It's just I think there's enough comedy and entertainment in it in general.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fair. Harrison, do you recommend? I'm sure he recommends the blue panties, but
I
Go-
give it 6.5 because of that huge ass. That was pretty impressive.
well, there you go. There's your review for Anora 2024.